This is Jack Randall Earls, the man in the chair. We're on location at the gazebo at the Hazel Day Longden Theater. My guest today is Caroline Good, and we're going to talk about the children's programming that we do here at the Putnam County Playhouse annually. Hi, Caroline. How are you?
Hi, Jack.
Oh, my goodness. This summer, we've just been passing each other in cars. This is the first time we've had a chance to sit down all summer.
I know.
So I'm glad to have this opportunity to talk to you. Now, you created the annual youth theater workshop, SHAKESPEARED. When did that start, and how did you get that idea?
Well, back in, I think it was 2006, we had done a program that I created called SHAKESPEARED with a lot of kids, elementary and middle school, topped out at 8th grade. And so, because of having toddlers and teenagers at the same time, I didn't get around to doing like the SHAKESPEARED until 2006. So we hadn't included high school, and it happened to be that year there wasn't enough for the high school to do. So I thought, well, we'll try that. So so I just thought, well, we'll do a traditional version with the middle school and kind of a wacky version or a comedic version with the high school, and it's been pretty much that same format ever since.
Oh, I remember the early ones there. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Now, what's the performance schedule for the youth theater workshop?
Well, we have 2 weeks to put on a play. The play is usually, the middle
Two
school
plays.
is a little, the middle school version is a little bit shorter, usually 45 minutes to an hour. We end up being about an hour 15 for the older group. So on Monday, the kids come, we read through the play on their feet, we do theater games, they put in their role preferences, that night we cast it, and we block for 3 days or so. Hopefully we do a stumble through on Friday, and then they're off book on Monday, add props, lights, sound, costumes, the chase, of course, has to be in there. It's very complicated, so that usually takes some time too, and it all comes together at the end. It's great.
So then the middle school group gives their performance on the second Friday of the workshop, and then the high school group gives their performance on the Saturday evening.
Right. We used to do it all in one night, and looking back at the attendance numbers, we had some years 260 people in the Playhouse, so this is better.
198. Yes.
There's more pros than cons having separate nights. It is fun, that energy, and having the kids see each other's work is also fun, but this is working out really well.
Now, I know you did The Tempest this year for Shakespeare. Can you tell us about the 2 versions of that play that you did this year?
Yeah, Eleanor Howard and David Johnson directed the middle school group, and they did kind of the more traditional version. It is a comedy, so they really ramped up the comedy with that. And then I did a Gilligan's Island version. It's funny how it works out with the characters and the castaways coming to the island, and kind of finding parallel characters.
It's a lot of fun, And the pictures were very, very fun too. Now, you've also brought in some instructors in dance and voice training and combat. How do you think learning about those things benefits the participants?
Oh, hugely. And everybody that I've had, help with that. David Johnson had helped with the stage combat. Andrew Hayes years ago always did some sword fighting, and the kids, they just love it. They love being physical and moving around. Deb Grandma came in, way back a couple of times too, and helped to do some dance. But yeah, it's definitely a team effort. And those skills they're able to use outside of the Playhouse, and when they do, perform in their school plays or in other productions when they get older. Yeah.
Yes. Now, YTW, the Youth Theater Workshop, has ended this year, but you have the Children's Theater Workshop that you're doing this week. Now, what ages are included in the Children's Theater Workshop?
Yeah, we start on Monday already, the 24th. We have going in the fall, it's 2nd through 5th grade. So that way they're usually pretty confident with their reading because it's such a quick turnaround. It's only 1 week. actually 6 days this year. We're going to experiment with something new. We added an extra day. The team last year, we got together and we unanimously said, I'd love to have an extra day. So I'm like, well, if they were willing, they're volunteers, we'll give it a try. So, yeah, so we've got some busyness coming up.
That's
for sure.
busyness coming up. Now I know you also give great opportunities to budding young playwrights. Do you have any original plays you're going to do at the Children's Theater Workshop this year?
Yeah, we have 2 plays this year, 2 original plays. I'm so excited. Ellen Blackledge and Jocelyn Cash, they were just in The Tempest. Yes. They got together and wrote the Almost Heist, which has to do with fairy tale characters and artifacts and a museum and King Arthur and Peter Pan, and it's loads of fun. It's really fun. They are the younger group we're going to split our 31 kids into 2 groups and have 2 plays this year for the Children's Workshop. They're doing the younger set. The older group is going to do a play by Ruby Sullivan called And the Winner Is. It's about a child's beauty contest with, crazy parents. And so I'm sure that's going to be hilarious too. So yes, over the years, Susanna Howard's written plays, Rebecca Hebb, Bella Green, Alice Howard. We've had a lot of plays. I try to do that most of the time, whenever possible.
I know that you do the adaptation for the older kids for the theater workshop. You do that.
Yeah.
Now, in addition to learning stagecraft, what value do you think programs like this have for the students who participate?
Well, it's so nice because kids come together from all around the county. They don't go to school together. They meet each other here, and they become lifelong friends. I mean, I've had kids that have done the workshops way, 12, 15 years ago, and I still see that they're friends on Facebook, and that's really great. It's great for their confidence, their comedic skills. They get to find their niche. Not every kid's a sports kid. They're not, a lot of them do both. They're athletes and they do drama, but I think they really find their people sometimes, and just really warms my heart.
Yes. Well, I think a program like this really gives them a taste, and they find out if this is something they really want to do, because it may look easy sitting in the audience, but then when you do it, it's a whole other ball game. And I think these skills, they learn cooperation, they learn responsibility.
Oh yeah.
They learn to collaborate with each other. I think it's very important. These are skills they can take, as you say, back to their schools and even on into life.
Well, even empathy too. I think what's beautiful to watch is the positive support that they give each other. They're so generous with that. So that I think those kinds of things are just something that the Playhouse offers, not only for the youth workshops, but also for the main stage shows. Yes. If you're involved out here doing anything at the Playhouse, you know that it is a very positive atmosphere. And I think that hooks the kids in, and they come back to do the main stage when they get of age.
Yes.
When they can. So.
Now, all aspects of your productions in both workshops are handled by the participants. That's backstage, on stage, and technical. So would you encourage folks who are not particularly interested in being on stage to participate?
Absolutely. In fact, starting next year, I'm going to add to the registration form, do you want to work backstage instead of on stage? Because I think we had a couple of kids really, really interested in costuming, but didn't really feel comfortable on stage. And we have the children's workshop team. A lot of them get 10 interns this year. And some of those, they range from going into seventh grade through going into college. So a lot of those kids wanting to learn how to do lights and sound and things like that. So so this is a really great opportunity because it's a short commitment.
Yes.
And we can, do a shorter program where they can kind of get introduced to those skills. Yeah.
Now, what's the best way for parents and kids to find out about the Youth Theater Workshop, SHAKESPEARED, and the Children's Theater Workshop for 2024?
Well, we will hopefully have some information up by the end of the year, depending on what we'll play on the website. And we have a Putnam County Playhouse Youth Theater Workshop page on Facebook. So those two places are good places to find out about what's coming up for next year.
Yeah, we certainly try. Well, I wanted to talk to Caroline about this because not everybody who attends Putnam County Playhouse knows about our opportunities, our workshops for younger children and older children. And I wanted to give you the opportunity to give these two programs the support that you give us. The Children's Theater Workshop production will have its performance on Saturday, July 29th at 7 p.m. And I think it's $3 for 12 and up, children under 12 free. So come out and see what we've been doing. We'd love to see you here at the Youth Theater Workshop. And Carolyn, thank you so much. Always a joy, always a joy.